Hey YouTube, hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. Welcome back to Tech Talk, and let's just jump right into it. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about, and really the only thing I'm talking about today on today's show, is in light of the recent news that Congress just let ISPs essentially sell your browsing history without your consent. I put together a quick little tutorial on how to stay anonymous online, or about as anonymous as you possibly can, because disclosure note, you can never remain 100% fully anonymous. There is always going to be a way for somebody to track you down. So if you're high enough on the NSA and FBI's most wanted list, they're going to find a way to track you down. There's hidden rootkits in almost everything, from your hardware to your software to you name it. They will find a way, they will apply pressure, and they will track you down. This tutorial is really just so your ISP cannot sell your browsing history without your permission and make your browsing history essentially available to the public for the public to either buy, see, or whatever. Alright, so the first things first, get yourself a VPN. If you don't have one, go find one. I listed a bunch of links in the website right here. I'm just going to go ahead and link to the website below. Another great website that has all this entire list essentially and more, and I linked a few other links that will help you get through this, is privacytools.io. So if we scroll up here, you can find a list of VPNs that they pre-approve and recommend. I actually use one of their recommended VPNs, and I must say I love it. Oops, that's not VPN, that was something else. Here it is. There's iVPN. That's my personal favorite. I have used Fruit VPN, another favorite of mine, so there you go. So the next step to reducing your digital footprint is to use a different OS other than Windows. Now, I know there's a lot of things out there Linux cannot do that Windows can. For example, there's accounting software that can run on Windows that cannot run on Linux. But I recommend, for your personal use, if you're not gaming on it, just go ahead and switch over to Linux. I mean, if all you're doing is browsing the internet, Linux is perfect for you. In this case, you want to keep your browsing history out of the hands of the ISPs, and using Linux is just another way to ensure that. This whole privacy thing, it's a bunch of layers. It's essentially an onion. So the more layers they have to peel back to get to your personal browsing habits, the less likely they're going to do, because it'll probably cost Y to peel back all these layers, and they're only going to get X amount of revenue. That's just not worth it to them, so they're just going to leave you alone and move on to an easier target. Okay. So the OSs I recommend are CubesOS, Debian, and Fedora. All these are great, easy to set up, except Cubes. Cubes is really, it's not user-friendly per se. They do have a video on there on how it works if you go to the cubesos.org. But it's not the most intuitive Linux to use. It's essentially a virtual machine type of Linux, and you can set up different virtual machines to run different things. So basically, if one machine gets compromised, you can just go ahead and delete that machine and start using another one. It doesn't compromise your whole entire system, is to put it in layman's. The next thing I recommend doing is finding a different DNS server to use. So instead of using the one provided to you by your ISP, I have a list right here of different DNS servers you can use, and after you pick a new DNS server, you can go ahead and use DNS script to make sure that DNS spoofing does not happen. It uses a pretty well encrypted key to make sure that your DNS server and DNS connection is encrypted at all times. I'm really not going to get into it with the benefits of all this. There's, I think, another article that I have that I can post in the description box below that gets into more of a description of why it's a good idea to use a different DNS server rather than the one that your ISP provided for you. Now, here's my biggest thing: web browser add-ins and which web browser you should use. This can get on so many different debates. Some people say, yeah, you can use Chrome because Chrome is just as secure as Firefox. It's Google. They're going to want to track you no matter what. I don't trust them. I'm going to use Firefox. Now, Firefox can do the same thing because they were at one point partners with Google, and now they're partners with Yahoo, and I'm pretty sure Yahoo's desperate for ad revenue. They don't make nearly as much as Google. So yes, they can do that. Yes, Chrome can be safe, but I mean, come on. It's Chrome, it's Google. I don't trust them. I'm going to use Firefox. You can also use Chromium. These all will work. I don't know what the add-ins are for Chromium. I have not tried them. So the first add-in I recommend everybody getting is uBlock Origin. Blocks all ads, better than AdBlock. No discussion. I'm not even going to debate that one. Just go ahead and get it. Self-destructing cookies. Basically, it just makes sure that every time you're on the web page, if a cookie tries to track you or a web page uses a cookie to track you, it just, boom, deletes them. You don't have to worry about it. It just deletes them. Next is HTTPS. Once you enable this, it requests the HTTPS version of the website for you. You don't have to type in HTTPS and make sure you get it every time. It just automatically does it for you. So that's a really good thing. Now these next few browser add-ons are kind of just duplicating on themselves a little bit. Privacy Badger and let's see, U-Matrix kind of duplicate on themselves. They kind of both do almost the same exact thing. I don't know which one I prefer at this point. I'm kind of using both just to kind of test it out, but they kind of do the same thing. Same thing for Decentralize. Does the same thing as Privacy Badger, kind of, and U-Matrix, which all these kind of intermingle. So if you download just one and not the other, you should be fine. Again, they kind of do the same thing. NoScript is kind of essentially an easier way to use Privacy Badger, U-Matrix, and Decentralize. Again, they all kind of do the same thing. You can just pick your favorite, run with it from there. Alright, next you're going to want to disable your webRTC. The easiest way to do this, you can just get an add-on. Just go to the add-ons in Firefox, search webRTC, and it's the first link right there. You just download it, enable it, and you should be good to go. Just to be on the safe side, you can do the about configuration for Firefox. Again, I'm not sure how this works in Chrome, so I'm not sure how to disable this in Chrome. I haven't really tested it out. I could probably mess around with that and let you guys know how that works out. Alright, and then there are some single WebRTC related items that you're going to want disabled. Media pre-connections disabled. You want to put that to true. Media peer connection that uses document iServers, you want to put that to false. Peer connection video, again false. Peer connection identity, and you want it to time out at 1. All this will make sure that your web RTCs are disabled and that your DNS does not leak out by accident. Again, there's more to it than this. I'm just kind of giving you guys a basic rundown of what all this is and how to kind of do this. I put more on my website. The next thing you want to do is change your search engine. So if you're really conscious about this and you really have your tinfoil hat on here, you just want to go ahead and use a different search engine rather than Google. There's DuckDuckGo, Start Page, and there is another one that I can't think of right now, but the one that I have listed is Disconnect. Disconnect is another good one. DuckDuckGo is by far my favorite. It's my go-to website and search engine right now. I try not to use Google as much because I'm trying to lay low on the internet world to not have a browsing history as much, so that my ISP has nothing on me to sell. I hope you guys enjoyed this very short and quick tutorial on how to keep your ISP from selling your browsing data. Final thoughts here. In this article, I mentioned that Windows is used only for gaming. No, I'm not a complete total fucktard. I know that Windows isn't used only for gaming. I know that it has a lot of other uses, including enterprise uses. Actually, I use Windows every day for work on my home personal computer when I browse the internet. However, I do use Linux. There's no excuse not to use Linux if all you're doing is looking up YouTube, Reddit, or just using the internet in general. Actually, right now, believe it or not, I'm recording this on a Windows 7 machine. I do not like Windows 10. I have it at work. I have to use it a lot. I hate the damn thing. I don't like it. I don't think I'm going to upgrade. I'll probably just, hopefully, Windows will come to their senses and do a better upgrade. But as of right now, as long as Windows 7 is still going for me, I'm just going to continue using that. I don't like Windows 10 spying on me and having all that bloatware in there. I know you can get rid of it, but it's really hard. And every new update, they always re-enable everything. And you have to go back behind them and disable everything. And then some things, they are taking off the disable menu per se, and not letting you disable it anymore because they think it's critical software that they must run. So yeah, again, I know I'm not a complete fucktard, and yes, I am hoping against all hope, as I mentioned in this article, that Linux will eventually be used mainstream. Again, here's hoping against hope. Whatever. One can hope and dream, right? Another thing, if you follow all these instructions carefully and add all the add-ins, I think if you reload the web page, it won't let it load. That is because I fucked up and I let my SSL certificate for my website expire. I gotta get another one. I completely fucked up. I gotta go ahead and just pay for another one, have it re-enabled, and I should be fine. But in the meantime, you can't use HTTPS on this website. I will fix that hopefully as soon as I post this video up online. I know I fucked that up. I'm sorry, guys. This was just something that just slipped my mind. I didn't mean for it to slip my mind. I usually have a reminder. I didn't buy the SSL certificate right away when I bought this website. I kind of just wanted to set up a blog and just kind of run with it. Didn't think I'd actually gain any traction, to be quite honest with you. And I think I'm doing alright. I could be doing better in my videos, but I'm hoping that the blog is kind of my way of communicating and getting some points across. There are times I am just going to write off the top of my head, put everything I have down into this, post it, and not even spell check it or anything. I'm just going to put it out there, and it sounds good in my head at the time, and then people will point it out, hey, you're a complete idiot. And I go, oh shit, yeah, you're right. What was I thinking? I am a complete fucktard. You know what? You guys can call me out on it. I'll be happy to take the flack for it, because I can be a complete moron. So thank you guys for keeping me honest. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very short and quick tutorial. I hope it wasn't a complete bore. I'll put the link in the description box below. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to message me, smoke signal me, don't text me, because I'm not going to respond to those. And you guys don't have my number. Haha. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, this is the Tech Guru, and I'll see you guys on the next Tech Talk.